If you run a business in Nigeria or you're thinking of starting one in 2026, you need to watch this video to the end. In this particular video, I'm going to show you different ways to get what I call free money or cheap money, both locally and abroad. Now, from my research, there are three main sources when it comes to business funding, especially in Nigeria. There is the government, what is called the IGOs, and the private sector, right? Now, these three sources of funding offer business loans and business grants. Now, for business loans, that is, they offer you money, then you go put it in your business, make some money back, and pay them with an interest on top. Now, with grants, you basically fill an application form, tell them that you want to use the money for certain things that align with their own ambition or goals. We'll talk about that very soon. And then they would give you that money for free. You don't have to pay it back. So that's the difference between business loans and grants. Just want to put that caveat there. Now, when it comes to the sources of funding, like I said, there are three. Now, the government actually offers you the least amount of money when it comes to funding. Most of them offer you a maximum of 500 to 1 million naira. And the reason why they do that is because, again, Nigeria is a large population of people, so they have to give a lot of different people this particular funding. Okay, now the good thing about that is it is very, very easy for you to get access to these funds or grants or loans, depending on the organization you go and meet, that sort of thing, right? The next one is the IGOs. Now, IGO stands for intergovernmental organizations. Yeah. Now, with the IGOs, they have certain goals that they've already penned down as priority. Now, priority in terms of improving the continent or improving the world on a global scale. So things like fighting hunger, things like providing electricity, things like providing employment, things like creating infrastructure for technology advancement, all those sort of things. That's the priority of the IGO. And then the last but not least, where these ones actually provide the highest amount of both business loans and grants, are the private sector. Now, within the private sector, I want you to understand that it is a business, right? It is a business in the sense where you would work with certain banks that would offer you maybe single-digit interest rates or very, very low interest rates, paying them back, but it's still a business, right? Even when you're working with venture capital businesses, and I'll give you examples later on in this video, they will still make a profit when you either get acquired or you go public in your business, or maybe you move on to the next stage of your funding in your business, that sort of thing. So in the private sector, it is a business. Even the business grants that are free, what they expect from you is that they are going to use you as part of they're going to use your business's success as part of their communication materials, marketing materials, things like that, which, to be fair, I think is okay. If they're giving you money and access to things that would help you grow your business, the least you can do is record an interview and say, oh, what a fantastic platform it is. Now, I'm going to give you examples of where you can find funding for each of these sources. Now, when it comes to government funding, you have platforms like BOI, you have platforms like BOA, you have platforms like SMIDAN, you have the LSETF, which is for Lagos State. If you're starting a barber shop or something like that, right? These are the kind of fundings that can just get you started. Get you some clippers, things like that. And it's a minimum of 50,000 naira. It starts at 50,000 naira. When you put your application together, you can get more than that. Now, moving on to the next one, you have the intergovernmental organizations. The first one is UNDP. Now, UNDP actually has grants that they offer to businesses that are trying to help them achieve their sustainable development goals. So fight hunger, fight unemployment, renewable energy, all those amazing things. If your business aligns with this, these are the kind of grants that you need to be pursuing. And these grants, they give you the thing I like about grants like this is it's not just the money, it's also the access. They give you access to people that can really, really elevate what you're trying to achieve. Like if you are really trying to make an impact, when you work with businesses, when you work with organizations like this, they really put you in the room where the right people will hear you. that sort of thing, right? And then there's the African Development Bank. Now, this is the one where I believe they invested in a Nigerian company and they gave about $3.5 million. Now, this was a loan. I don't believe it was a grant when I read that particular article. But the payback for these kind of organizations, the interest rate is not ridiculously high, right? And again, similar to the UNDP, these people put you in the right room. They put you in the right room to have the right conversations with the right people so that you can actually scale your business up. I say this a lot to people that I'm currently mentoring. When it comes to business, it's a social relationship thing. It's a network thing. You know, you can be the hardest worker, but if you don't have the right relationships or you don't have the right network or you're not around the right people, you would move very slowly. One connection can really, really catapult you to the next phase or the next stage of success, just like that. For the final one, it's called the African Women's Development Fund. Now, this is a feminist movement. Let me just say it like that. This is a feminist movement where their main focus is to support women's businesses and keep it running and actually establish it to the next level. I'm not a lady, so I can't really talk much about this, but it's good that there's funding that is separate just for women to help them in their businesses. Now, for the private sector, I'm going to kick things off by talking about the Tony Elumelu Foundation. Now, this is very straightforward. It's had an impact across the entire African continent, actually. This is one I applied for as well. I think I applied in 2017 or 2018. I didn't get it. I talk about that in a particular video. I'll tag up here or here, whichever one. But yeah, there's that. The next one is probably my favorite one, which is Y Combinator. Now, Y Combinator is solely focused on tech-driven businesses that have the potential to scale to what I'll say at least $1 billion, no matter the continent you are in, that sort of thing, right? And they've supported almost all our unicorn businesses in Nigeria. Now, for Y Combinator, what I also find it very interesting is if you're able to get in, you are basically guaranteed $500,000 in funding, and you get to go to Silicon Valley for I think it's about 3 months for a training program, and then you get the prestigious Y Combinator alumni connections and things like that you can always leverage and use wherever your career goes. Right now, why I like talking about Y Combinator a lot, I think this is my third time talking about them on this channel, is because when you look at the Nigerian businesses that have gone through Y Combinator, and guys, there are more than 50. There are more than 50 different businesses. I don't think they're up to 100, but I think there are more than 50 different businesses that have gone through Y Combinator. You would understand that they give opportunities to, I wouldn't say mega mind-blowing ideas, just regular ideas that you and I probably have thought of in our day-to-day, just like, this will make sense. Somebody has put in an interesting presentation, gone there and gotten funding, and is now building a impact-driven business. That person or those next group of people can be you, can be me. For you to get in the first time especially, it's not easy. One thing I've realized is most people have to apply like 2-3 times before they finally get into the Combinator program. Another thing I've also realized is for the Western market or the Western world, they can fund ideas, but for the African market, and most of the people that I've seen that have gotten funding, most of those people had to have already had legitimate businesses on ground. So they had to have started the business, gotten some customers, gotten some traction, all those kind of things. I say all this to say, if you just have a business idea right now, applying to Y Combinator might be a waste of your time. Even though they say that, apply even if it's just an idea. Go bootstrap, build the idea, see how far you can get to, and then apply to Y Combinator. Now, the next one is the Google Black Founders Fund. At the moment, what they do is they still offer grants or some sort of funding, but they offer it through like Google credits. So let's say you want cloud storage for your business. Your business needs what else again? Your business needs cloud storage. Your business needs certain Google tools, that sort of thing. They can easily give it to you for free, which makes sense because they're the owners of the business, right? Now, that's also some form of funding that would help your business. I say this because we are in the era of artificial intelligence. And guys, trust me, as somebody that is building an app using AI, and somebody that is running an e-commerce business and managing e-commerce stores and also using AI to create content, AI tools are extremely expensive. So getting discounts or getting free access to these tools, trust me, is a lot of money that you are saving. Don't think of it that, oh, I'd rather collect the cash. No. If you have opportunities to get access to these tools for free. The next one is the MasterCard Foundation program. This also, I think what MasterCard does is they partner with other businesses and then they offer you training. So business training, capacity training, things like that. And when I say training, what I typically mean by that is, let's say, how do you grow a business? What does the P&L mean to you? How do you do your business structure? How do you take yourself out of the business and put systems, processes, and things in place, right? That's one of the things that the MasterCard Foundation also provides. And then to a certain degree, they also provide some form of cash as grants, that sort of thing. MTN is now doing something similar to what Amazon does. So Amazon have a service called AWS, Amazon Web Services. Basically, a lot of websites and things like that can put their domain or host their website on the Amazon Web Services cloud. Let's call it that. So MTN is doing something similar. So maybe DaminiWilliams.com or OjaDigital.com can one day be hosted on the MTN cloud, right? That sort of thing. And because of that, they're now doing an accelerator program to train people, mostly businesses, on how to improve their businesses and take their businesses online. Because when you take your business online, you have to take it to a cloud. You have to connect it to a provider that can, host it for you, things like that. And that's why they are training you. Now, alongside that training, they are also offering funding. You see? That's why I said earlier that even though these businesses are offering grants, the idea is they want to still leverage your success story and leverage you being on their platform, because you will still pay them back their money. Like, it is what it is, right? But yeah, so there's the MTN Car Accelerator program. Check that out. There is the MTN Yellowpreneur. This is also for women. Now, for women, so there's this platform called Shecluded. They offer loans, but they also offer grants. They partner with a lot of government agencies and they offer grants. Check them out. Now, if you're looking for other ways to get money to start your business and you don't want to get maybe these business loans, or you don't want to apply for these grants, that you think that, oh my God, this is so difficult. There's a particular video I recorded a few months ago. You can go and watch that video. In that video, I actually talk about how even me myself, I started some of my businesses without any money. So check it out.